Okay, and we're back. Let's do some refreshing, make sure that things are going. All right, so do. Okay, guys, awesome. So you guys haven't lost the stream. I was a little worried that because it was two separate streams that the chat would disable, but since you guys kept the windows open, I guess the chat came back. So that's good. That's good. That's good. Uh Hello everyone. How's your day going so far? Pretty good. Pretty good. Um hmm, let's see. Now we can There we go. So guys, let me know if there are any problems with the stream so I can try to rectify them as soon as I possibly can. And now that I'm not having to answer old questions, things should be going a bit more smoothly. I should be able to make a little bit more progress on this shitty game. So let's see. Do do doom 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 do do doom do do doom do do doom do do doom doom doom. All right. Let's keep going. So guys, I am now going to be taking questions for the 6K Q&A, and right now it's about 3:20. So I think we're gonna go until 5 o'clock. So we got about an hour and 40 minutes to answer some questions. Keep in mind, because it's a live stream, you guys can answer multiple questions, but I would like you guys to be mindful of 1 second, refresh. I would like you guys to be mindful of the other people in the chat so that I can get to everybody. So if you asked a question and I answered it, try to let other people ask the question first before you try to ask another one, just so that people can all get a chance. So let's see if I can get a link to the stream. Let's see. Do-do-doom, do-do-doom. Let's see. We're gonna get these links up. Let's go on Twitter and share this link for the part 2 of the stream. Okay, so let's see what questions we got. What do you think your channel would be like if MLP wasn't a thing? Basically, it would just be the non-MLP videos that I do and more of them. I've always liked talking about my favorite things in media, whether it was MLP or not. So even if it wasn't an MLP channel, I'd still be talking about something. So yeah, if it wasn't MLP, it would just be a regular cartoon reviewing channel. And considering the oversaturation of people that just hate on Teen Titans Go and Powerpuff Girls, and that's mainly their only source of content, I feel as though we kind of need a little bit more variety in the cartoon reviewing community, considering that a lot of them tend to overlap in terms of content. So yeah. Favorite musical reference in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't really care for the musical references. I just like the story and the characters. So the musical references don't really have that much importance to me. What are some of your favorite hobbies from childhood to your adulthood? Well, a lot of my favorite hobbies have stayed consistent throughout my life. Obviously, drawing is one. Writing, talking with friends about my favorite shows, movies, etc. What else? While I don't consider myself to be a good singer, I do like singing my favorite songs to myself. What else? Spending time. I would consider spending time with my family a hobby. I do enjoy hanging out with them from time to time. So, next question is, what are your favorite cartoons from your childhood, and do you have plans to devote some videos to them? Let's see. Well, before MLP, the big cartoon that I was really into, like my MLP before MLP, was Alvin and the Chipmunks. I was a big Alvin and the Chipmunks fan. I did comics about the Chipmunks. I would back when there were episodes of the series on YouTube, I would find the series on YouTube. I have the Chipmunk Adventure on DVD, and I unironically enjoyed the live action movies, even though the 80s animated series is still better. So yeah, I was a big Chipmunks fan coming up, and then a while after that I found MLP, and then my interest started to shift towards that. I'm not sure if I would actually do a Alvin and the Chipmunks month, because it's a very simple series and there isn't really that much to dissect in terms of like there's not that much to dissect when it comes to its content, because it's a very simple show. So I wouldn't say that there would be an Alvin and the Chipmunks month. I have considered doing a Pokemon month, but I haven't decided whether it'll be about the games or the anime, because if I do both, then it will just be a little clogged up and too oversaturated. And yeah, so I can't make any guarantees about what's the next themed month if I do another one. Next one. Have you heard of Metopia? Yes, I have, but I'm not really into it. No, I wanted to go to Pokemon. I wanted to switch out. Your favorite main 6 mom in MLP? And MLP and why? Twilight Velvet. Mainly because of her design. Because let's be honest, most of the MLP moms are pretty flat in terms of character, and yes, I'm including Applejack's mom because pretty much the only thing we know about her is her relationship. So I am gonna say that her character is just as flat as the others. But so it mainly comes down to design, and Twilight Velvet along with Pear Butter are my favorites. If I had to rank them, I would say Twilight Velvet, then Pear Butter and Cookie Crumbles tied for second, then Mrs. Shy, then Cloudy Quartz, and then Windy Whistles isn't even on the list because she looks fucking terrible. Next question. What's your favorite type of gemstone? Don't have one. Not really into gemstones. What's your favorite Disney song? While Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, I would have to say that my favorite Disney song is probably Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. I really enjoy the kind of triumphant kind of a theme that it goes for, and it always energizes me when I listen to it. Do you watch the Fate anime series? No, I do not. Are you a Pokemon fan? Well, I wouldn't be voluntarily playing my least favorite Pokemon game if I wasn't a Pokemon fan, so I think that kind of answers your question. If yes, what is your favorite Pokemon? I don't have an all-time favorite, but my favorite type is fire. Fire type. I love my fire types. Let's see. Next, do you plan to collab with Aeon? There really isn't a topic that I've considered talking with him about. Like, while I am friends with Aeon and we do get along well, I still don't want to do collabs just for the sake of doing them. You know, I want to have a topic that I can discuss, which is why it's taken so long for me to collab with Ellie and Keyframe. I want to have something worthwhile to talk about and not just do a video for the sake of doing it. Do you like SAO the anime? Hell no. SAO is garbage. I mean, more power to you if you like it, but ugh, I do not like it at all. Ugh. No. Hell no. What are your funniest gaming moments? Well, thinking about games that I've played, like my favorite moment from a game that I've played, like, and me playing it, would be a side quest from Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. There was basically, the premise is that you're a human kid and you're as you're browsing the internet in virtual reality, your physical body gets it gets separated from your digital body, so now you have to get your body back. So during these side quests, you help people out with their technological problems, and this one guy was getting unwarranted selfies from a Lilamon, which is like one of the pretty Digimon. So I have to go into his phone and get her to stop, and when I tell her to stop, she gets mad and it triggers a boss battle. But the funny part is that she sent all those selfies to him because she liked him, and then once you beat her and you convince her to stop and you talk to the guy and let him know that the situation has been taken care of, he tells you that, oh, I didn't want to hurt her feelings because I'm not into women, I'm into guys. And I was like, oh damn. I had to put my controller down. I was laughing my ass off at that. So, are you hyped for Sonic Forces? I wouldn't say that I'm hyped, but I am interested in the game and I do plan on getting it. What do you find to be the most overrated and underrated episode of MLP? Overrated? I would say Slice of Life and Stranger Than Fanfiction, but saying that they're overrated would imply that they were ever good to begin with. So, let's see. If any villain were to be in an episode of the show, who would it be? And will you talk about the prequel comics before or after the movie? I'll probably do the prequel comics before I do the movie, and then do the movie afterward. As for villains, I would like to see Chrysalis come back, but I don't know how many people don't like spoilers, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Do you have a Telegram account? No, I do not. Why are you still bashing Wendy Whistles? I'm not bashing her, I'm just making a joke about her. It's not that big a deal. And because it's funny, so who's gonna deal with it? You. Have you ever thought about reviewing Marvel or DC comics? No. Mainly because there's so many intertwining storylines and I just don't feel like getting into it. Who do you ship Discord with? I don't really actively ship Discord with anyone in particular. I do like the relationship he has with Fluttershy, but I kind of like the banter he has with Twilight. I kind of like the idea that Twilight is someone that has been shown to be really into order and doesn't really like a lot of disorganization. So of course she doesn't really like Discord, so I kind of like the chemistry that they have. Wendy Whistles is a terrible design, OMG. See? Told you. That did you know the creator of Pokemon is autistic? Yeah, I remember doing a back when I was in high school, I did a research paper about like the challenges that teenagers face when they deal with if they're on the autism spectrum, and I wanted to do a segment on people people that are well known that happen to have who happen to be on the spectrum, and the creator of Pokemon was one of the people that I did highlight. Try SAO abridged. If I didn't like the regular version, Why would I watch the abridged version? Do you have a YouTuber that inspires you to improve your content? Honestly, any YouTuber that creates content that makes me think and encourages me to think more deeply about what I consume is someone that I consider to be an inspiration. So it could be pretty much anyone that gets that reaction out of me, basically. Let's see. Before YouTube, how many friends did you have and did you stay connected with them? I had a few friends throughout my life, and my first real group of friends I had was when I was in 3rd grade, and we still talk to this day. Whenever I go home to visit, I always make sure to keep in touch with them. So I didn't have the usual story about, oh, before I joined the Brony community, I didn't have any friends and I was lonely, yada yada yada. Like, MLP didn't save my life. You know, it's just a fun thing that I was into, and I had friends before it, and I would still have friends even if I never encountered it. So while it is something that has had an impact on my life, I still had friends prior to joining the community. Let's see. Have you heard of Samurai Pizza Cats? No, but I did not watch it. What's your favorite type of music? Any music that sounds good. So I don't like I do tend to lean towards pop and R&B, but if any song sounds good, I'll listen to it. I know people are gonna hate me, but I think Magic Duel is overrated. I don't really feel any type of way about that episode one way or the other. Like, I remember liking it, but I don't really have any strong feelings toward it. For me, the most overrated would be Stranger Than Fan Fiction. Well, again, saying that Stranger Than Fan Fiction is overrated implies that it was ever good to begin with. How do you feel about the Gen 1er fan service they keep putting into the new Pokemon games? I wouldn't really say that it's Gen 1er fan service, because the types of people that would fit into the stereotype of Gen 1er don't even play the games. So technically the fan service isn't for them. It's just for people that, you know, that you know, are still into the series and still enjoy it. And that's not really what a Gen 1er is. And plus, it kind of makes sense that there's a lot of throwbacks to the original games, mainly because Sun and Moon came out the same year as Pokemon's 20th anniversary, so of course there's going to be a lot of stuff appealing to the people who were there from the beginning. So oh yeah, I gotta go to the stupid trainer school. Have you heard of Ask King Sombra? I've heard of it, but I don't follow it. Not really into it. Any comic villains you'd like to see in the show? No, because none of the comic villains that I've said this in earlier videos, but none of the comic villains that aren't already tied to previous characters were good. Shadowlock was the closest they came to a good comic exclusive villain, but even then he was kind of lackluster. Let's see. Do you watch DBZ, and if so, which series? I've seen every series. My favorite is the original Dragon Ball, and my second favorite is Super. What's one childhood memory that you look back on and always think, what the fuck? Most of them. Do you have a P.O. box? No, I do not, mainly because I live in college sponsored housing, so a P.O. box isn't really something that would be viable, because I live with other people, so I really don't want people getting up in my mail. So yeah, P.O. box, and plus I'm not really that popular to constitute a P.O. box kind of thing, so P.O. box isn't really something that is on my priority list at the moment. Let's see. What makes you so savage without thinking of the consequences? I don't know, just me naturally being a smartass, you know. It's not that I don't think of the consequences, it's that I know the consequences, and that I've accepted the possibility of those consequences. To put it simply, it fixes all the original series. Well, I mean, why should I have to watch a fan series to fix the problems of the original? This is going back to SAO Abridged. It really doesn't. You know, it doesn't fix the problems. It just makes fun of those problems, and I can do that myself. You know, I don't have to watch another series to hear jokes that I've already made myself because I know that Sword Art Online is bad. Which episode of MLP did you start with? The first one. Would you say that? What would you say if the Avengers of the Justice League met the Power Ponies? I don't really care for crossovers personally, so I wouldn't really say much other than why, because I don't really care about crossovers. When you said about your butt was toasted, did you mean that literally? You might have to elaborate on that. Most overrated episode of the season 4 finale. Have you ever thought of Kevin getting his own room? He does have his own room. I just don't show the only rooms I show in the cave are the main room and the hallway. So whoever's, I'm not gonna am I gonna have Kevin sleep in a room with me? Shit, no. Let's see. Slice of Life was my first episode, and I really like the style of a bunch of different people connected to something, even though they are largely unaware of each other. I was wondering why you hate it. Well, first of all, I don't hate fictional things. I just dislike them. I don't like Slice of Life because it was a boring, unfunny mess. You know, it relied so much on fan pandering, and I don't like episodes that focus on pandering and prioritize that over telling an actual story. So it was something that, because it relied so much on memes and fan humor, that it just sucked as an episode. I just really didn't enjoy it. It wasn't an enjoyable episode. You know, I want to see an episode about characters I care about, not background characters that never had any establishment. You know, if you want to make a compelling story about the background characters, you would have to establish them in some kind of way. I feel as though Amending Fences did a way better job with background characters than Slice of Life, because they actually put them in context. So yeah. Do you ever find yourself caught up in the drama with the fandom? No, because I do not involve myself with that, mainly because a lot of it is based on hearsay and rumors, and I have literally no time for that. The time I spend following that could be time that I could spend on my craft, time that I could spend on my work, time that I can spend on me, improving myself as a person and as a content creator. So I don't have any time for that. What would you say about an episode that featured the main six's parents as the main characters? I would honestly prefer, if going back to what I said about previous characters, it would be better if, like, I don't want them to fall into the same problem as Slice of Life, where they take characters that have barely any establishment and make them the main characters of a story and have to have them stand on their own. That's just that ends up backfiring and creating a bad story. What it would be better is if we had an episode, like for example with Twilight's parents. Twilight is the main character, but her parents are also supporting characters. Like, it's about Twilight and her parents. Therefore, her parents can still be main characters, but they have Twilight to lean on. They don't have to carry an episode on their own, because when you have a character that has little to no development, it's a good idea to let them lean on another character first to get a little bit of establishment, and then give them their own episode so that you have that establishment to work off of. Have you played Lego Dimensions? No, and I don't plan to. Do you believe Yusaku was autistic? Well, if you want my thoughts, pretty much watch my video on the theory of Twilight having Asperger's syndrome. and being on the autism spectrum. That should pretty much cover my thoughts on diagnosing characters with conditions that they don't have. Do you plan on revealing more of your channel in the future if I feel the need to? Was I spanked as a child? When I was younger, yeah, but my parents eventually grew out of that punishment and realized how ineffective it was. So, you know, my parents are smart. So yeah. How many mares has your changeling character slept with? More than you. Have you thought about joining Dr. Wolf's TF2 analysis series? I think what a lot of people don't get about that series is that it's not about saying, oh, I want to join. It's a matter of them wanting you to join. You know, it's a group project, and therefore it's not a matter of saying, oh, I want to be in it, and then you're in. So it doesn't really matter what I think, you know. It matters what matters is whether or not they want me, not whether or not I want to be in it. Let's see. Are you still living with your parents? No. As I said, I'm in college, so I'm in college sponsored housing. What do you think Gen 5 will be like? I prefer Gen 5 of MLP. I prefer to live in the present rather than worry about the future. When Gen 5 of MLP comes, if it comes, I'll deal with it. I don't really care for making predictions about things that haven't even happened yet. Silverquill has stated that he's tossed around the idea of you being part of it. Well, the ball's in his court. If he wants me to be in it, then if he and Doc want me to be in it, then hey, it is what it is. Who is the worst villain in the comics, in Equestria Girls, and in the show? Equestria Girls, Sunset Shimmer. She was the worst villain. The comics, I have to really think about that. It would have to be either the Umbrum from Siege of the Crystal Empire, Longhorn from The Good, the Bad, and the Ponies, and who was another shitty villain? Like, the comic villains are so bad that they just like blend all into one. What plans do you have for your love drug idea? You'll see. Do you think they'll ever explain foreign species like the Saddle Arabians? I don't really concern myself with that. I prefer to just see what stories they bring us. If I prioritize characters and lore over stories. Not characters and lore over stories. I prioritize characters and stories over lore. There we go. So if we don't get any episodes about the other species in Equestria, I honestly wouldn't care. You know, it would have been nice if we had it, but it's not really that big of a loss if we don't. What do you think of Lily Pete without the fandom discourse? I know that a lot of people don't like her, but I enjoy her content. When I was mentioning people who create content that make me think, she was one of the people I was thinking about, mainly because a lot of her videos encourage me to challenge the way I think about what I consume, and I feel that my content has gotten better because of that. I remember part of what made me want to do the Twilight, the video about Twilight on the autism spectrum, was partly because of her and how she pretty much breaks down how she breaks down flawed ideas. And I ended up watching the Why Are You So Angry series as well, and that also kind of encouraged me to break down the theory, and it also gave me a method as to how to do it. So yeah. Do you play Call of Duty Black Ops? I don't play any Call of Duty games. I'm not into first-person shooters. The only first-person shooters that I've enjoyed were Overwatch and Bioshock Infinite. Have you played any dating sims? Yeah, I played Honey Pop. That was a pretty fun one. Did you hear about the rumor that season 7 of the season 7 finale of MLP will tie in with the movie? I don't care for rumors. I prefer confirmations over rumors, so I don't entertain them. Out of all the main series comics, which would you say was your favorite? Reflections, hands down. Hands down. I love Reflections. Are you planning on turning the comic you're working on into a PDF and selling it online? What I want to do is host it on a website and have it supported through Patreon, hopefully. Equestria Girls is a sin and should be shut down. I like Equestria Girls. It started off very weak, but it turned out to be okay. Would you ever play Team Fortress 2 because since it's basically the original Overwatch? No, because Team Fortress 2 has a very boring aesthetic, very boring looking characters, and I honestly don't care for it. And from what I've seen of the gameplay, Overwatch is a little more refined. Have you heard the soundtrack to the new movie? No, but not because I've been intentionally avoiding it, but rather because I just never bothered to look it up. Lily Pete equals Meliminus. I'm not familiar with Meliminus's content, so I can't really say. Do you think the MLP series has too many side characters? Most just show up and never come back. See, the thing about MLP is that it's an ensemble show. You know, it's kind of like The Simpsons in that you have characters that show up and don't really show up again, and that's fine because it's an ensemble show. You know, some shows have more of a focused cast, but some shows like MLP, Family Guy, and Simpsons have a more ensemble cast, and I don't think that's to the show's detriment. What's your opinion on One Punch Man? I watched it when it was on Toonami, when they aired the English dub, and I thought it was pretty cool. What's your favorite character in Overwatch? I would say, when it comes to who I use, the characters that I use the most are Lucio, Zenyatta, Tracer, and Roadhog, and a little bit of Soldier. Would you ever? No, I already answered that question. Is this a Nuzlocke? No. What's your all-time favorite TV show? Don't have one. I watched too many TV shows to narrow it down to one. Let's see. What do you think of Sombra in Overwatch? I think she's pretty cool. Really enjoy her design. I said in the previous stream that I really like characters that have purple in their color palette, just because I think purple is a cool color. And yeah, I really enjoy Sombra. Actually, my roommate is a Sombra main, so yeah. So I think, I actually caught up on the questions. I just gotta wait for more. All right, let me go heal. Why hasn't Nala learned any offensive electric moves yet? What are your thoughts on Doomfist? I haven't really played him all that much because I'm not really a melee guy. I prefer characters more like Lucio and Zenyatta that are a little more long distance, or Tracer, where I can go in, do a little bit of damage, and get out. So next, in your 3rd anniversary, did I hear Catherine? Oh, when I was doing that backstory about my Uncle Shady in my 3rd anniversary video, you were close. You were close. The music that I used was not from Catherine, but it was from a game made by the developers of Catherine. It was from Persona 5. It was the interrogation room music. I also used that track in my Get Off Your High Horse video. Have you watched Brony D&D? No, because I'm not into D&D. What's your favorite Pokemon? I can't narrow it down to one. Is this Platinum or Pearl? Who cares? They both suck. This is Pearl. What do you think about FNAF? I don't think about it. What have you seen? Have you seen those portrayed by SpongeBob videos on YouTube? No, I have. No, I have not. Do you read the Overwatch comics? No, I haven't. Transformers comics? No, I haven't. And if so, which is your favorite series? I don't read the Transformers comics, but my favorite Transformers series is Prime. Have you watched Death Battle? Yeah, I usually watch the ones where at least one of the characters is someone that I'm familiar with. If I had to pick a favorite, my top 3 would be, in no particular order, the Pokemon Battle Royale, Agumon versus Charizard, and Majin Buu versus Kirby. Sir Sketchy, are you going to become a reform? What? Not sure what you mean by that, Cable. Favorite Atlas game? Trauma Center. Will you ever draw a not safe for work Salazzle? I don't know. I just prefer, like, Salazzle is so overdone that I just want to do other things, you know. It's like, oh, Salazzle, you know, the one that everyone has drawn, you know. I'm not really all that concerned with drawing a not safe for work Salazzle. When is your birthday? My birthday is April 29th. In 2018 I will be turning 21 years of age. So I am currently 20 and I'll be turning 21 on April 29th. What's your favorite genre of games? Fighting games. I love fighting games. I actually bought 2 fighting games recently. I got Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Pokken Tournament DX. I did double dip on Pokken Tournament mainly because I just loved how that game played, and I was glad to have it on the Switch. One game that I'm really looking forward to is Dragon Ball FighterZ. I was a bit disappointed that I wasn't able to get into the closed beta, especially since that me and several of my co-workers at my job, we all signed up for it. They all got in and I didn't, and I was a little mad. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, hey, the game comes out in February and there's gonna be an open beta in January, so I'll get to play it soon enough. Do you like Chinese food? Not really. Are you an iPhone fan or an Android fan? Android all the way. I prefer the freedom that I have with Android. I feel like that the iOS system when it comes to phones is a little too restricted. You should watch the new series, Death Battle X. I only watch them when I care to watch about it. I did watch the Jotaro versus Yu fight, but I didn't really think much of it. If you and Kevin were Persona 5, what code name would you have? Didn't really thought about it. I guess Lovebug maybe. I don't know. It's something I just thought up on the spot. It's kind of a lame name. Kevin, I don't know. Loser, I don't know. Do you like action RPGs? When I don't like have a particular opinion of the genre as a whole, but I can't think of any. I know I've played action RPGs and I know that there have been some that I enjoyed, but I'm drawing a blank on some of them. Thoughts on the Injustice game franchise? I wasn't that into Injustice 1, but I love Injustice 2. I actually own Injustice 2. My main is Cheetah, but I'm also good with Wonder Woman, Scarecrow, and Sub-Zero. What is your favorite Lycanroc form? I don't care for Lycanroc. I wasn't really all that into Lycanroc, and honestly, I don't think I ever trained one. It just never appealed to me as a Pokemon. I might try out the Dusk version because I think they're gonna give you like a Rockruff that can evolve into Dusk form when you get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so I guess that'll be my chance to use Rockruff. What do you think about the Metal Gear series? I don't think about it. What are your thoughts on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite story mode? I don't play fighting games for the story. And honestly, the only fighting games that have had a worthwhile story that I've played were the games made by NetherRealm Studios. So Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat X, and Injustice 1 and 2. Those are the only fighting game stories I actually cared about. I don't play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite for the story. Have you seen the new DLC for Injustice 2? Yes, I keep up with Injustice 2 pretty frequently, and I usually find out new news about it the day it happens. And I'm looking forward to Raiden. Haven't played Injustice 2 in a while, mainly because I've been well, first I had finals, and then after finals some other games came out that I wanted to play, so I just put my focus on that. But yeah. What do you think of OKKO? Haven't watched it. I might watch it, especially after seeing that Captain Planet crossover, but I'm honestly not sure. Favorite Injustice 2 super move? As far as the best looking, my favorite looking one, Raiden. I love the way Raiden's looks. Have you watched Card Captors? No. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? What the hell does that mean? I'm looking forward to Hellboy. I'm looking forward to him too. I'm looking forward to what kind of character he'll be. What do you think of the Fame and Misfortune song? Watch my season 7 round. Watch my latest season roundup for season 7, and that should pretty much sum up what I think about it. I love Scarecrow. Oh yeah, I really like Scarecrow, and I was actually surprised at how much I liked him because I usually gravitate towards the faster characters, and Scarecrow is one of the slowest characters in the game. But to make up for it, he has a lot of reach, and I really like his combos. So he ended up being someone that I wasn't expecting to be good at, but I ended up being good at. Favorite nostalgia critic review? Don't have one. I don't really follow him. I don't follow him that closely to where I can say I have a favorite. What do you think of the story for Injustice 2? I thought it was pretty cool. Not sure whether or not I like it more than Injustice 1, but I do like it. What anime have you watched that's not Yu-Gi-Oh? A lot. If I were to narrow it down to just the ones that I watched this year, My Hero Academia Season 2, Classroom of the Elite, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Did One Punch Man air on Toonami this year, or was that last year? I watched One Punch Man recently. One of my older favorites is Future Diary. I really enjoy Psycho Pass, Panty and Stocking. Yeah. Favorite Injustice 2 stage? Don't have one because I don't care for the stage. I don't really pay attention to the stages. I just pay attention to the fighting. Does Evil Superman come back? Yes, because the story of Injustice 2 takes place solely in the alternate universe. So the only Superman in that story is the Evil Superman. Do you play phone games? Not often. If I do, they end up not lasting that long for me. Do you have a favorite movie of this year or last year? Last year was Zootopia. This year, I'm not sure. I'd have to look back at the movies I've seen this year. Lego Batman is definitely one of my favorites, though, from this year. Do you plan on watching the new Equestria Girls series? Maybe, maybe not. Do you like Fruits Basket? No, I have not. I was never interested in it, so I never watched it. Which Steven Universe Gen 5 is what? What are you talking about, Cabell? Not sure what you're trying to say. Favorite episode of Brain Dump? I've only seen 1 or 2. You're assuming that I watch it. Have you seen the Emoji Movie yet? I don't really care to watch it. I don't really care for it either way. Like you could not pay me to care. That's how little I care. What are your thoughts on Mega Man X being in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Didn't really have an impact on me either way. I was gonna get the game regardless of whether or not he was in it because, to be completely honest, I'm more interested in the Marvel roster than the Capcom roster, to be completely honest. Favorite Injustice 2 moments? When I win. Oh crap. Am I gonna kill him in this next attack? Let's try. Panty and Stocking dub was better than the sub. Yeah, I usually watch I prefer dubs over subs, but I'm not against subs. Like if I like a series enough, I'll watch it subbed before it comes out dubbed, or if I'm not that much into it but I am interested, I'll watch the dub. And Funimation has been doing these things called simul dubs, where they'll release the dub pretty closely to the Japanese release, so these days I don't really have to worry about it. So see. Oh, that's what okay, that's what you're trying to say, Cabell, because you said Steven Universe and you said Gen 5, so I had no idea what you were talking about. This is Pokemon, not Steven Universe. This is Pearl. But who cares? All the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum all suck. What's your favorite monster? Don't have one. Why do you hate Rare Jack so much? I'm assuming this is a troll question, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. First Sonic game, Sonic Rush. Whew. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2? No, and I'm honestly not gonna feel all that bad if I never see it. I saw the first one, I liked it, but I'm not really all that I'm not really all that interested in seeing the second one. If I end up catching it, cool. If not, no skin off my back. Who would you like as DLC for Injustice 2? Even though I know it's not gonna happen, Static. He should have been the alternate skin for Raiden, but hey, I guess licensing issues, I think that it was. Let's see, favorite Power Rangers team? That's a good question. Dino Thunder is definitely up there. If I had to pick like a top 3, Dino Thunder, Jungle Fury, and RPM. Oh, SPD. Forgot about SPD. SPD was a really good one. Opinion on Your Name live action Hollywood movie. What? Are you talking about Your Name the anime movie? Or guys, make sure you send your questions make sense before you answer them, before you ask them. Are you gonna eventually continue with your CS verse? I honestly don't know. I've been getting into other things that have been I've been getting more invested in. And so I honestly don't know if I'm gonna continue with it. Could you survive in Equestria for a year? I honestly don't know. Let's see. Oh damn! Someone deleted their message. Can't read it. That sucks. But let's open back up that chat. Close the window by mistake. Your Name, the movie, is getting a Hollywood live action. Well, I don't really care about Your Name anyway, so not really all that concerned. I'm not that type of person to really get all upset over Hollywood remakes. If it's good, it's good. If it sucks, it sucks, and that's it. Thoughts on Spawn for DLC? Don't really care about Spawn, so whether or not he's in the game, it doesn't really have that much weight on me. All right, it's 4:08. We got about 50 minutes left. When you revive a Kabuto from the underground, are you gonna name it Soldier? That's assuming that I even decide to go to the underground, because I just want to do the main story. I'm not really concerned with doing extra shit. I don't even know if I'm gonna get that far today, so. Have you watched Low Rated Duelist? No, I haven't. Really trying to get Nala to learn a damn move. I wonder. Let's see. File. I wonder if I can increase the speed. Screw it. Are you familiar with the Monster Hunter series? I know of it, but I don't play it. What's your favorite fast food joint? Popeyes. What do you think about the Terminator franchise? I don't think about it. Speaking of Your Name, what do you think of live action adaptations to anime in general? Most of them aren't good, but I mean, there's always the potential to be good. I feel as though a lot of people kind of harped on Death Note a little bit too much, because there were some good elements in it, and I think people focused too much on whether or not it was faithful to the original, and less on whether or not it was actually a good movie on its own. What is your least favorite Pokemon? Probably Lucario. Are you gonna see the MLP movie? If so, will it do well at the box office? Will critics like it? I have literally no way of knowing that. Like, I'm not a psychic. Have you ever been to any Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments? I actually did play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively when I was in high school. When I first moved to New York, during my junior and senior year, I would go to a card shop with my friends every Friday, and we would play in our local tournaments. I haven't been into any tournaments beyond the local level though. Awesome Disney name for your Shinx. Yep, I always name my Shinxes after Lion King lions, and mainly Nala, which is why I prefer to get a female Shinx so I can name it Nala. Is there any favorite Pokemon from your game? Which is your favorite? Luxray. Least favorite Pokemon? Probably Lucario. Lucario's definitely down there, mainly because it's just... See, that is the definition of overrated. It's a Pokemon that is good, but it gets a lot more praise than it actually deserves. Like, he appeals a lot to edgelords because of his dark, brooding personality, and oh, he's tied to souls and whatever. Like, literally no one cares, Lucario. Go be depressed somewhere else. Like, one thing I would love to do is if I ever did an X and Y, if I ever did an X and Y let's play, I would get to the part where Karina gives you a Lucario. I would accept the Lucario, then put it in the PC and release it, just to piss people off. Thoughts about Mewtwo? I don't really care about Mewtwo. Why don't you ever answer questions about Kevin? What are you talking about? I mean, I've answered questions about Kevin. I answered what was the inspiration and stuff like that. Like, an example of a question I haven't answered about him, because you gotta be a little more specific. What do you think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Reign so far? I'm enjoying it. I'm a couple episodes behind, and I really have to sit down and watch the episodes that I haven't seen yet. But I think I'm on episode like 14, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Can't really say where it stands compared to the other series, but I do enjoy it. If you met my OC, would you be friends with him? I literally have no idea who your OC is, and I don't know what their personality is, and I kind of have to know those things in order to determine whether or not I would be friends with someone. I can't really say whether or not I'll be friends with somebody unless I actually interact with them, so it's not really something that you can predict. Who's your favorite? Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina? They all suck. Watch low rated Duelist. I'll watch what I want to watch. What made you decide that your changing OC was to be a semi-nymphomaniac? Because it was funny. Basically, most of the decisions I make regarding what I do with my OC and by extension Kevin is because I think it's funny. That's usually my line of thinking. Will you say my OC's name? Versipalus? Not sure what enjoyment you got out of that, but okay. I got Rock Smash. Alright, Usagi, thanks for joining us. That's not how it's pronounced. Well, excuse me. Whatever, dude. You're the one who asked me to say it, so you took that risk. Don't blame me. I can't wait till Nala learns Spark, and I can stop using Tackle. I want to at least get the first badge before the end of this stream. What the hell are these letters doing in my stream box? How come you decided not to have your buds with you on this Q&A like the first one? If you're referring to Brandon and Nate, is because I was visiting home during the summer when I made that Q&A, and I'm here in Atlanta in school. When I did that Q&A, I happened to be back home when I was recording it, and I asked them if they wanted to be in it. That was something that was like a spur of the moment thing that I really can't do because they don't live anywhere near me. Would you be interested if they made a sequel to the new Death Note movie? Probably. I'd watch it. Do you like comic book movies? When they interest me. Worst Power Ranger character? There's so many. The Blue Ranger from Samurai. There we go. Tips for anyone wanting to try out the newer Pokemon games? Well, in regards to what? Like, gotta be a little more specific. Make sure to find a Pokemon that can handle rock types. I already have one. Did you watch the Dark Side of the? Did you watch the Dark Side of Dimensions? I actually did. I was lucky enough to catch one of the showings in the U.S. There was a theater that was about 20 minutes away from me by car that was showing the film. So my cousin was nice enough to give me a ride and watch the movie with me. Luxray is actually 100. It's actually 100% better than Lucario because Lucario is trash. Who is the best Hive leader, or Chrissy or Thorax? Fuck the Hive, I don't care. Well, Nala learned Bite, so that's something. So I guess Nala's using Bite. Did you watch Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? I watched like the first 20 episodes and I stopped. Lost interest. I understand that the later episodes are better, but I honestly don't care. Do you ever tease Bliss or Keyframe about their heights? I did at first and it just got old. What's your favorite dragon type? Probably Dragonite is one of them for sure. Trying to think of others. I know Dragonite isn't the only one. Technically Mega Sceptile. Technically. I'd have to actually look up all the dragon types. You know what? I can actually do that. I can do that while I go through all this stupid dialogue. So, dragon types. So, Dragonite for sure. Komodo for sure. Oh, Altaria. How could I forget about Altaria? Altaria's bae. Love Altaria. Rayquaza for sure. So yeah, Komodo, Dragonite, Rayquaza, Altaria. And yeah, Komodo, Dragonite, Rayquaza, and Altaria. Why don't you find my puns phenomenally punny? Because they're terrible. They are shit. I'm sorry. I find it very unfunny when people try to force a pun, you know? It just ends up being like it makes people look like they try too hard, basically. People think that when you acknowledge the fact that you're forcing it, it fixes the fact that you're forcing it, when it only makes it worse. So yeah. Was there ever a starter you regret using? No, because I usually pick the fire ones and they're all good. The only exceptions I made were in Kanto with Squirtle and in Hoenn with Trico. My favorite kind of comedy is the one that focuses on a form of misery. I like different kinds of comedy. I like a variety of different kinds. Flygon, but it should be above ground. I honestly like that it's a ground dragon. so should probably level up should probably level up Deku. Yeah, so the goal is to get the first badge before the end of the stream. Yeah, fire stars and Pokemon. I mean, who doesn't like 3 gens of fire fighting starters? I feel like I understand people's frustration with it, but I mean, they're good Pokemon, so who cares? Plus, Emboar is built differently than Blaziken and Infernape. So, see, if they were 3 consecutive fire fightings and they were all bad, then I would have a problem with it. But if they're good, who cares? I mean, Sun or Moon, best Pokemon to start with. I feel like you're fine regardless of which Pokemon you pick. It's gonna be the Pokemon that you pick afterward that determine how well you do. All I would say is to make sure that your team is adequately leveled for each trial, because the trial Pokemon can definitely get to you. But the game does a good enough job at making itself accessible to newcomers that there isn't really anything I can say that the game won't already help you with. What would you do to fix Dunsparce? Why would I need to fix Dunsparce? I could just not use him. Like, why would I need to fix a Pokemon that I don't even care about using? Have you seen the remake of It? I'm not into horror movies, so I haven't seen it. I think the reason most people identify you with being a changeling is because they try to make a Sona based on what they identify with. Like, my OC is a hybrid because I'm biracial. Well, I wasn't that type of person. I just picked a changeling OC because I thought changelings look cool. So that was pretty much my only reasoning. Are you hyped for the My Little Pony movie? I won't say that I'm hyped, but I am interested in. I am looking forward to it. I don't really get hyped for a lot of things. Like, I'm hyped for Dragon Ball Fighters, but I'm not hyped for the My Little Pony movie. Would you describe the old look of changelings as metal? No, because I don't use those overused terms. Because what does metal mean? You know, I prefer using terms that where whoever I'm talking to can easily understand what I'm talking about when I describe something. So I don't use terms like metal in order to describe things when it comes to how they look. I mean, like heavy metal, rock and roll stuff. Well, see, like I said, I prefer to use terms that actually describe the look of the character rather than just say, oh, it looks like a music genre. I prefer to use actual literal adjectives to describe how they look. What do you think of Tempest and the Storm King? I can't really say what I think of them because I haven't watched the movie. Like, when it comes to my thoughts on characters, I actually have to see what they're in. You know, I have to watch the story that they're in if I want to have something worth saying about them. What do you think? What are you thinking on a Chechi Goro storyline? What is that? I have no idea what that is. There we go. Wild Geodude fainted. Ugh. I forgot what level Monferno evolves at. Please tell me it's 14. Or rather, Chimchar, not Monferno. Okay, it evolves at 14, so I just gotta get Deku up to level 14. Then we'll have a good fighting type to deal with those rock types. But for now, we're just working on switch training. Will you notice me, senpai? You know, there's a reason why I ignore that, right? I honestly don't. I thought you played Persona 5. I did, but I haven't finished it. I haven't played it in a while because I've been doing other things. And as far as that whole notice me, senpai thing, it's honestly kind of annoying. To be 100% honest, because first of all, it's not even what senpai means. First of all, and I mean, and it just gets kind of, it's just kind of bothersome when people just cry for attention like that. Cause for me, I find it kind of an unattractive quality in people when they have to cry out for attention like that in order to get noticed. So it's not really something that kind of sits well with me. See, Pokemon rules? Yes, it does. Pokemon is the shit. Pokemon is awesome. And don't let nobody tell you different. Catch a Starly and nickname it Fox It Down. I'll catch what I catch. I'll catch what I catch. How about that? When did you become a Pokemon fan? Around the end of Gen 3. I think it was around 2006. Yeah, I think it was around 2006 where I started following Pokemon. I was about 9. And Diamond and Pearl were, I think they were about to come out in Japan, and they were going to come out a year later in America. So I've been a Pokemon fan for, damn, 11 years. Do you like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh better? When it comes to the games, Pokemon. When it comes to the anime, Yu-Gi-Oh. Which episode of MLP should have been a two-parter? I don't really concern myself with that. If there's an issue with pacing, then giving it more time, giving it a whole other episode should have been. It shouldn't be the first option. The first option should be, what can we do with the time that we have? Because if you can't manage your time, getting more time doesn't fix that. Because if you're a poor time manager, you're just gonna apply that poor time management to 2 episodes in 1. Let's see. I bet you never saw it coming. I honestly don't know what you're talking about. So yeah. I'm gonna draw Pikachu and Sunnydale as a terrible album cover. Hey man, go for it. Are you a fan of Troy Baker and Nolan North? Not really. Come on, give me that sweet EXP. Alright, 2 more levels and then I evolve. Oh shit, an Onyx. Okay. Onyx gives a lot of EXP though, so I'm just gonna switch into Nala and kill it. Because I don't think Onyx knows any ground type moves other than like maybe Mud Slap maybe at level 9. Yeah, I don't really have to worry about ground type moves this early in the game. Screech might be a problem though. Jesus, okay. Yeah, this... he already used Harden and Screech. I think we'll just bail on that. Found a Podion. Podion. Okay, I battled this guy. And there's Rourke. Lame ass rock type gym leader. Do you think Celestia and Lunas are extensions of something from another dimension? No. That goes into ridiculous headcanon territory, and I do not go into there. No. Hey Sketchy, have you played Sonic Mania or Destiny 2? Sonic Mania, yes. Destiny 2, no, and I do not plan to. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Let me see what happens when I use Ember. I know it's not very effective, but let's just see what happens. Huh, that did pretty okay damage. And it burned him. Okay. You may have already answered this, but why do you hate this particular game? Is there anything you like about it? Well, I don't hate it, I dislike it. I only save hate for things that actually affect me in my personal life. I don't like it because it's a very, very slow game. 2, because you're only it doesn't give you a lot of good options for typings if you don't pick the fire type starter. The characters are very uninteresting. Team Galactic is a bore. And Sinnoh as a region is just very uninteresting to me. And there's so many things that the game does to artificially lengthen it, like by including terrain that's very hard to walk through and that you get stuck in every 5 steps. And it's like, if you want to make a game that lasts long, just either make the game more challenging or make the game longer. But you know, just saying make the game longer kind of disregards the whole thing that games take time to make, and you can't just say make a game longer. But I mean, if you're gonna have the game be how it is, then don't artificially make it longer. Just embrace the fact that you have a relatively short game. Thoughts on Tempest Shadow from the MLP movie? Again, I can't have thoughts on the character from something I haven't watched. The movie hasn't come out yet, so I can't say anything about. I can't have any thoughts on a character that I haven't experienced yet. All I know is what she looks like. The joke I mentioned was a reference to Persona 5. Well, like I said, I haven't finished it. How old is Pokemon? Pokemon came out in 1996, so the series is 21 years old. I think it came out in the US in 1997, if I'm not mistaken. Thoughts on It 2017? As I said earlier, I did not watch it because I'm not into horror movies. Would you describe yourself as blunt? Yes, I would. Absolutely. Because a lot of the times when you kind of dance around an issue, it just prolongs it longer than you need it to. So like, why mince words? You know, just say what you mean. If someone makes a Pokemon emulator of a lewd version of Pokemon, would you play it? Only if it's good. Like if it plays like garbage, it's not worth it. Thoughts on Daybreaker? Already talked about her in my season roundup. Rule of thumb, guys, try to refrain from too many questions of what are your thoughts on this, what are your thoughts on that, especially when it's just a bunch of random things that you think about. So it gets kind of grating, especially when it's like when it's like consecutive things that I've already talked about or have said that, you know, or haven't even come out yet. So just as a general rule of thumb, have you played Pokemon Go for like a minute? Didn't really last that long. How would you feel if Tristan from Duel Monsters got a spin-off series? I wouldn't watch it. Who's your favorite DC character? Static Shock. What's your special talent? I'm a changelings. Changelings don't have cutie marks. Should I include Campfire Tales or exclude them, seeing as how they were established in the comics? That's your decision, GJ. Ever done a Nuzlocke run? No, mainly because I wasn't really all that interested in doing one. I might one of these days, but don't hold your breath. Like, I enjoy watching Nuzlocke runs more than doing them, honestly. Oh, crap. Can we ask not safe for work questions here? I'm honestly not sure. Mainly because there is a bit of a mix in my audience between YouTube and not sure if that's the best idea. Ever consider a randomized run? Yes, but I never bothered to do it. Favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure music? I really like Wamu's theme, and I also like the second opening of Stardust Crusaders. Have is Kevin related to your character? I'm assuming you mean to say how, and he's my character's cousin. Some of your favorite musicals? I don't really watch a lot of musicals, so I don't really have any. All right, let's go to this gym. Try to get that favorite Disney movie? Lion King. What makes you driven and passionate as an artist? The desire to see my work finished, basically, and the satisfaction of finishing a piece, and just the fact that I love what I do. You know, I really enjoy what I work on, and that's part of what drives me. Favorite Disney character? It's hard to nail it down. If you were to ask me my favorite Disney villain, it would definitely be Scar, though. What other bronies are you planning to introduce Kevin to? Eliora and Golden Key. Are you getting Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or both? I was originally planning on getting both, but I think I'm just gonna get Ultra Sun maybe at first, and then maybe get Ultra Moon later. Okay, hopefully this battle will give me the level I need to level up Deku. Favorite Pixar movie? Monsters Inc. you ever sell a bottle of love flavor of yourself? I sell bottles of love for females only, so no. Favorite Marvel character? Don't have one. Favorite DreamWorks movie? Kung Fu Panda 2, hands down. What's your favorite Pokemon from Gen 3? Well, I don't hate Gen 4. Like, again, I don't hate fictional things. Gen 4 is my least favorite. I just dislike Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Gen 4 did introduce a lot of good things mechanically to the game, like the physical special split, which helped make a lot of Pokemon more viable, like Blaziken. And it gave us Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so how can I be mad at that? But, my favorite Pokemon from Gen 3, probably Sceptile. Favorite Power Ponies character? Mistress Marvelous. Okay, we got that level that we needed, so we're gonna switch over to Nala. Let's see, what is we gonna do? Use Leer. Best dude character from MLP? I don't know. Have you ever played any of the Metroid games? I played Metroid 2 on my mom's Game Boy, but I didn't really care for it. Not really into Metroid. Ever watch Doctor Who? No, and I don't plan to. Have you ever played any rare games from the 90s? I did play a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie. I did play the original Killer Instinct games, but that's pretty much it. Unless I'm forgetting anything. Oh, I did play Grab by the Ghoulies, but oh wait, that didn't come out in the 90s. That came out in the early 2000s. So that, I don't think that one counts. What would you say if someone made a robot version of your character? I don't know. Cool, I guess. All right. Deku is evolving. What are your thoughts on shipping, clap included? I mean, hey, do you, man? I don't really care what other people do with shipping, you know. I don't really let other people's ships bother me. Like I talk shit about Apple Dash just because I like to talk shit about Apple Dash, but I don't like if you actually ship Apple Dash, then hey, I mean, shit. Do you, boo boo? Do you? Speaking of Ellie, imagine if she got mad at Kevin. Yeah, she'd probably do that. All right, he wants to learn Mach Punch. Yes, he can learn Mach Punch. Should the move be deleted? Hell yeah. Let's get rid of Taunt. I do not use Taunt. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, or PC, which one you like better? At one point, I did own all of them, but I recently sold my Xbox. I like them all for different reasons, so I don't really have a favorite. And I've only been in the PC. I've only been part of the whole PC gaming thing for a short while because I recently got a new laptop in February. I saved up the money that I got from my new job and got me a new laptop. And I figured, hey, I got this laptop so that I can be able to animate and do my school work at home. But hey, I might as well try out PC gaming, and it's cool. It's a nice little handy thing to have. So I like it for what it is, but I don't really have a favorite. Have you played a game from Total War? No, I haven't. Thoughts on Captain America Civil War, and which side would you be on? Didn't watch it, but which side would I be on? I do think that there should be some level of responsibility for what the heroes do, because you do, while I do believe that there is going to be some collateral damage, there should be some kind of regulation, because a superhero's job is to protect people, and if their deeds end up harming more people than they help, then, you know, that's a problem. So yeah, if PC is the best race, then why is it so expensive? How do they expect us to buy gaming PCs? Well, keep in mind that I don't think that way, but it's a matter of you get what you pay for, basically. You know, Nintendo's online service is free, and what do we get for it? Crappy online. If you were a gym leader and you had to choose a Pokemon type, what would you pick? Fire. When did you start playing Pokemon? I started playing when I was 9, so 11 years ago. Thoughts on Marvel's The Defenders? I don't watch any of the Marvel Netflix shows. So let's take a look at Deku. Why do you like fire type the best? Because it's awesome. It's good. I like the way most of the fire type Pokemon are designed. Cough, cough, evil Superman cough. I don't know what you mean by that. But as the King Nappy says, only you can prevent lost save data, even though I saved a minute ago. So we're gonna save, and let's battle Rourke. Alright, let's see what this guy's working with. Geodude? Alright, we can rock out with a Geodude. Now that we have Deku on the squad. I'm gonna just wear him down with Ember and see if I get a burn off of him. Okay. Ember and plus, oh, see, now that I'm a fighting type, I don't have to worry about rock type moves because I'm neutral. Thoughts on Deadpool the movie? I really enjoyed it. Alright, let's knock him out with a Mach Punch. Ah, dang. Barely lived it. So he's most likely gonna go for a potion. So I think this will be a good time for me to heal as well, because I don't want to go into his Onyx, or rather, does he have a Cranidos or a Rampardos? I think it's a Cranidos. Either way, I'm gonna heal so that I don't go into that next battle weak. What do you think of Golden's new magic abilities, and do you think he's cheating at having an Alicorn OC? I mean, if it's cheating, who cares? I mean, I'm of the opinion that people can do whatever the hell they want with their OCs, and whether or not it's cheating would imply that there were any rules, and there aren't, so who cares? When it comes to his magic abilities, well, I'll just have to wait and see what he does with them. So, yeah. Are you gonna purchase a Switch, sir? I've had a Switch for like, when did I get my Switch? I've had a Switch for 4 months. You're a little late on that. Did you know the Avengers made cameos in the My Hero Academia manga? Yeah, I did notice that when I was reading it. Hey, Crying, what's up? Alright, he's sending out that Cranido. Oh, he does have an Onyx. He has both. Alright, we're gonna go and spam the hell out of him. Actually, we're gonna go for a Leer first. That's what we're gonna do. Being a gym leader must suck. Their job is to basically lose and give someone proof that they lose. I wouldn't say so. I mean, their job is to be a marker to challenge trainers, and we honestly don't know like how many battles they win versus how many battles they lose. You know, I mean, think about it. How many trainers are actually good enough to make it into the Pokemon League? Do you think the Avatar shows and the Boondocks count as anime? I'm not really concerned with whether it counts as anime or not. I just care about whether or not they're good shows, and they're good shows. So that's all that matters. Thoughts on the Pokemon Mega Evolutions? Love them. No, he has one Onyx. I wasn't saying he has more than one Onyx. I was I was saying whether or not he had either an Onyx or a Cranidos, and I wasn't aware that he had both. Alright, Deku's at level 15, sending in a Cranidos. Probably go with the same Leer strategy. See, hey Yu-Gi-Oh Brony, what's up? What do you think of the Z moves in Sun and Moon? I think they're pretty cool. I think they were a nice addition to the game, and they were implemented in a way where they weren't intrusive. So I enjoy Z moves. What's your favorite Mega Man game? I don't have one because I don't play Mega Man all that much. Oh shit. Well, it's a good thing Mach Punch always goes first. Again, good thing Mach Punch always goes first. So I get a free Mach Punch, and oh, never mind. Critical hit, bitch. Die. Favorite gym leader, Trial Captain Kahuna's. Favorite Nintendo series. My favorite Nintendo series is Pokemon, but if it wasn't for Pokemon, I'd say Kirby. Favorite gym leader? That's a tough question to answer. My favorite Kahuna would have to be probably Hapu. My favorite gym leader, I'm trying to think of all of them. Thinking through the Kanto gym leaders. Brock might be one. Oh, Elisa from Black and White is definitely one. Elisa, Lenora. I have a lot of I like most of the Black and White gym leaders. None of the Sinnoh gym leaders, that's for damn sure. I kind of like Valerie's kind of like whimsical nature. I think she was a cool way to introduce the fairy typing. What about Hoenn? Maybe Watson. I like Watson. I like the kind of jolly old man kind of vibe that he has. Yeah, I think that's it. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card? Out of the thousands that there are, one favorite? Yeah, no. I do not have one. Favorite Pokemon villain? Maxie and Archie. Would you say that you're the best Pokemon trainer? Not by the slightest. There are many people that are way more skilled than I am. Thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming? Loved it. Best MILF in any form of media? I'd have to narrow it down because there are too many. All MILFs have different flavors. There's no best one. Except Twilight Velvet when it comes to My Little Pony. But yeah. Okay, so what's this guy do? Oh, yep, I forgot about you. Alright, we got about 7 minutes. What can we accomplish in 7 minutes? What's a movie you really like that everyone hates and vice versa? Well, I don't really care about what other people think about the things that I like, so I never really paid attention to it. But I guess I would say the live action Chipmunk movie, since people don't really like those. Why is your character mean to Kevin? Because Kevin asks for it. That's why. Do you play competitively? I'm what I would call semi-competitive. I'm aware of the mechanics of competitive play, and I will play competitively every once in a while, and I try to like make teams that would be competitively viable, but I'm not super into competitive because I only enter competitions every once in a while. Favorite rival? Silver. Do you play any horror games? The last horror game I played was Until Dawn, and I thought it was a pretty cool game. Have you played Bendy and the Ink Machine? No, and I don't get people's obsession with it. Is there any things you find good in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl? Well, as I said before, I do like some of the Pokemon that were introduced, and I do like that Gen 4 introduces the physical special split that made some Pokemon more viable. Favorite 4X strategy games? that implies that I actually play them. So yeah. Why don't you like horror movies but games? It's not that I like horror games, it's that Until Dawn is a horror game that I happen to play. And plus, movies and games are two completely different mediums. What's their favorite food? French fries and chicken. Call it a stereotype if you want, but it's good as hell. Oh look, it's the shitty team from this game. Literally the only good thing about Team Galactic is their music. How do you feel like Megas like Kangaskhan? Do you feel like that Sun and Moon balance them well? I can definitely see why Mega Kangaskhan ended up getting banned from tournaments, because its ability was very powerful, especially when you combined it with moves like Power Up Punch, Sucker Punch, and Return. They ended up doing massive damage. So I think that Sun and Moon made a good call when they decided to decrease the power of the parental bond ability. There's an evil version of Superman called Ultraman. Okay. Which Until Dawn character do you like and dislike? It's been years since I played that game. I don't even remember any of their names. All I remember is that the Asian looking girl was in Superstore. That's really all I know about her. OMG, those Team Galactic guys have worse hair than Windy. That their Sketchy is a perfect example of a bad bowl cut. Actually no, because it actually looks like a bowl cut. Windy Whistle's hair looks like someone that tried to get a bowl cut and failed. At least their hair is well put together. Have you ever played Neo Geo games? No. I'm not really into those older type of games. So, what's a good stopping point? I forget what comes next after this. I think maybe after this battle is when we'll end the stream. That'll be a good place to stop. Yeah. Bruh, Lucas's Turtwig is getting shitted on. Why aren't you playing any 4X games? Number one, because I have no idea what those are, and number two, they don't interest me. I don't play a game that I'm not interested in. Ever watched the Pokemon Rusty series? I did. I think I have to watch the newer episodes. I don't remember if I saw them or not. But I did watch this. I did watch the series at one point. Alright, blah 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 blah. Bitch, 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 bitch. Okay. That lot, they call themselves Team Galactic. Blah 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 blah. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. I don't care about what the professor does. How does it feel to reach 6K subscribers? I mean, it just feels like any other thing. I'm glad that you guys like my content enough to watch. I'll say that. I don't care about the fashion case. Have you watched Ben 10? I watched the original, and after that I stopped because I did not care. Best fighting female character that you have. I'm assuming you mean fighting games, and I would say Melina from Mortal Kombat X and Cheetah from Injustice 2. Yeah. But ooh, it just turned evening here, so maybe that is a good time to stop. So we're going to save here. And I want to take this moment to thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. I'm really glad that I was finally able to get this out of the way. So I think this might end up being the new thing that I do for subscriber milestones. If I can't think of anything else to do, I'll just have a nice little Q&A stream like this. You guys seem to be pretty active in the chat, and I appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. Ooh, felt the burp coming on. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I appreciate your support as always. I hope you guys are looking forward to what I have planned for the rest of this year and for 2018, and I hope you guys enjoy them. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, keep it sketchy, folks. Peace.